There's a harrowing story which came out of Nigeria in which a man who is a father stopped to change a tire on his car and was on the outside, but Nigerian police officers approached him and wanted him to stop so that they could investigate whether he had committed a crime. This is where the story took a turn for the worst. At that point, the man quickly hopped back in his car, in which he had his teenage child, drove off at high speed. The police officer at that point started to chase after him, shot into the car, and tragically, unfortunately, the teenager died. And this is a story which has taken over the news in Nigeria, with many people unsure as to who was actually at fault in this whole incident, because Nigerian police are widely seen as somewhat incompetent, aggressive, and untrained too. Given the fact of the case, who is at fault? Well, if you look at the law, the Nigerian Police Act, Section 49, says that a police officer may detain and search any person or vehicle where they have reasonable grounds for suspicion that exists that the person is being suspected of having in his possession what they believe to be stolen or otherwise unlawfully obtained, or if there's reasonable ground for suspicion that exists that the vehicle is carrying something unlawful, or as the other sections in that particular statute say, if they feel the car is being used in a crime or something similar. Now, obviously the smart thing for the father to have done would have been to stop right there, engage with the police and speak to them and explain that there is no crime being committed, but he was simply changing his tire. That would have avoided a lot of the issues which occurred and led to the tragedy. But in the eyes of the father, he felt as if they were armed robbers, so he didn't have the intent. An intent, or mens rea, is an element of a lot of crimes. You have to have the intent to commit a crime, and he didn't know from his testimony or his statement that they were police officers, and that's why he fled. So people have to simply be careful, especially when you're in a vehicle and when you're dealing with your surroundings. And that's why having street smarts, understanding exactly who and what you're dealing with, can actually save you from things like this, can allow you to avoid a situation where police may have a legitimate reason to speak to you to investigate a crime, and you unfortunately think that they don't, or it's not police, and it ends up in something like this.